Okay, so today, as you can see, we are trying to see who are the giants of Africa. This is a video from Cruise 1 month ago. Already had 350,000 views, and I'm here as a Kenyan kupa ushuhuda wangu kama Mkenya, niwaambie who are the real giants of Africa. The video is 49 minutes long, but kama utakuwa unaiona afterwards, because hii ni live, if you're going to be seeing this afterwards, tutakuwa tumekat na tuna sleep. Tunajua wengi wenu TikTok brains wanamna gani.
We're the giants of Africa.
I don't think there's any country in Africa that
That's Kenyan. That's Kenyan.
is inferior and one is a giant. Y'all can
Nigerians are about to get cooked, to get extremely severely cooked.
sing. Y'all don't have electricity still? Yeah. Do you have a national carrier? We have Kenya Airways. You have?
Nigeria, the reason why we do not have electricity is beyond the fact that we cannot do it. If you compare Kenya to Nigeria, how many cities are in Kenya? And how many cities are in Nigeria?
Look at the naira and the shilling. You see, it's good to have cities and everything, but how does it then reflect
Kenya.
on your
She's
economy
Kenyan.
and your GDP?
We're huge representatives of Africa and what it brings to the world. When I was doing high school in Spain and people talking to me about Burna Boy, but what you know about Burna Boy?
Saying Nigeria has the best music, I do not buy that. What we are supposed to say is Nigerian music is the most hard-working industry in the whole of Africa.
We can see that music is feeding your artists because many of our artists.
This is just the beginning. I'll go in and give my takes. Juu kuna segment here. Giant of Africa. Nigerians are more romantic. Kenyans have better accent than Nigeria. Keregu amani. Kwa hiyo na brother. Corruption is more prevalent. Corruption, food, best music in Africa. We have more differences than similarities. Okay. So let's not waste time. Twende.
Here are struggling.
Kwenda. This looks very much like Jubilee. Options. Kuna mtu anaweza soma haraka hivyo pia nyinyi simwache ujinga. 18+. Show idea originated from Jubilee. See? I knew what I was talking about.
Here are the prompts we'll be discussing on today's episode. Please step forward if you agree with the prompt. Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
You have to back yourself. Nigeria.
Why is the nation giant? When you say something is giant,
That's the proper question.
what is the definition of a giant? Weight, size, power, and
Resources.
basically, right? Population.
Given that you're not the giants of Africa because resources are you're being outweighed by a number of countries, and that's a fact. Population here is 200 million people to be shy now. Kuzam Nazatu. And then what else? Population size. Size, I don't think you're the largest. You're still being beaten like countries like Congo. Congo has more resources and bigger in size. Geographically, that is.
Wise, nobody beats us.
Yeah.
Manpower, nobody beats us. Talking about technology, as much as every other country has technology, we have the biggest electronic market in the world.
Yeah.
In Africa, sorry. These technology companies that are building stuff everywhere would firstly consider the Nigerian market before building anything for Africa.
Because you're the most.
Of them in the business world, we are very much business oriented. It can't be compared. Yeah, it's as if we are born with it. Wherever a Nigerian is not, that there is no resource there,
That's
there is
a
no
fact.
business. And
That's
it's
a
true.
fact, you
For a
know.
Nigerian to step in somewhere means that
There's something
they are looking for, and they will find it.
1/5 of every African is a Nigerian, you know? We travel elsewhere.
Is that a fact? We gotta fact check these things. People just can't be lying. It's believed that there is a Nigerian in every country in the world. That is from Facebook. That's not by 2050, 1 in 5 people will be Nigerian. So it's not true. But most likely by 2050 that will be true. Okay.
Can the disagreeers now please step forward?
I think in egocentric much.
Oh, no.
Egocentric much.
I'm not even hiding it.
No, because I don't think there's any country in Africa that is inferior and one is a giant. And that subliminal messaging from the West to make you think, because in what regard? If we're talking about minerals, Democratic Republic of Congo.
That's true.
Up there, right? So in what regard? Y'all can sing. Y'all don't have electricity still. My name is Yolanda Mulwa. I'm a radio presenter. On what level, in what regard would someone say I'm better? I think we all complement each other. We have our strengths as we have our flaws. Let's strive to have a more cohesive continent than imagine in our heads that we're better than others in the room. So let's strive to do better. Do you have
But I was here to argue. In a later sense, I was here to argue, Buana, but go on.
electricity in your country?
Yeah,
I've
we
never even
have.
been, and I know.
We don't
Really?
have
24 hours.
No.
Yeah. Do you have a national carrier? We have Kenya Airways. You have?
To have like 2.
Kenya Airways unajua wataka kuuza JKIA, bro. JKIA is for sale to Adani.
You have?
We have Epis.
I beg.
We have not national. It's a private.
So in what regard? I feel like the subliminal messaging that has to keep you guys and your egocentric selves thinking, assuming, so you'll never come to the table on a level playing field mentally. You assume you're better than others. That's actually the only issue I ever have with Nigerians. You feel superior than other Africans. And I'm like, y'all can sing. Entertainment, you knock it out of the park, period. Okay, maybe in the loving too. But everything.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Kenyans, are you going to have that? They're basically saying that you guys, you are romantic. You guys are not romantic. Stick up for yourselves, Buana. You guys see how they love people and the Luos. Manajiseti.
Else it's subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. Why don't we learn from each other? It's not, you can learn how, for example, we can teach you how to have electricity for 24 hours. And then you can teach us how to have music. We can teach you how to not queue for oil.
Emotional, damn it!
That's
you don't have to
one
expose
thing.
everything.
In Nigeria, I have to have 2 drivers. One who drives me during the day, and then another one at night who queues for my fuel for the next day. And then you can teach us how to act and all that.
And commercialize our music, for
and
instance.
celebrate our strengths. I think it's a colonizer's, strategy where they came.
But in the same regard, I think the reason why Nigerians have better music per se, not better, but they can live off of your music, is one, because it's very rigorous for you to be a musician. So if you have an audience of 200 million people, and let's say you are decent, it's going to be hard for you to flop. If you have 200 million people willing to listen and you don't make it, it's not the same. Compare that to Kenya with 50 million people. That's a quarter of the population. You take some of our artists and if you put them in that situation, they'll probably even be big or bigger than what they are. What do these people know about Nyashinsky and Wakadinali and Sauti Sol, bro? They have broken bonds into Africa, but bado wanasema we don't have anything. Even if you look at the population of America, you see, you're just 100 million off beating the population of the United States. So it's practically almost similar. So, but even if you put that into perspective, there are so many trash Nigerian artists, so many of them, so many compared to what we have in Kenya, because the population is larger. If you extrapolate, let's say Kenya tuko na 5,000 work artists. You extrapolate that and multiply by 4, they have 20,000. That's a lot.
And also I'm in ministry where I run a church here.
You run a church? I don't know about that. I don't know about churches.
Also thinking about also the currency. You guys' currency is...
It's not looking pretty right now.
Yeah, so...
On USD and GN. 1 United States dollar is equals to 1,635 Nigerian naira. Okay. Oh, 128.
Nigerian men are more romantic.
I wouldn't know.
I guess we'll never know.
You have to come put us up. Oga,
Let
one
me
of you
show I'm
come here.
romantic. Let me show I'm romantic. No, Nigerian man, sit down.
Nigerians don't have a moderate button. Anything you do 1,000. If a Nigerian man wants you, he'll make it known. What I like about your men is there's no beating around the bush. There's no bush. Yeah, there's this guy who used to come outside my college and just park there. And first I was
That's a stalker.
mortified. I was scared. Then I was like, that's how these guys are. Like, they make their point known. They go after what they want. And I think that's what maybe we like. Kenyan men take that as aggression. Kenyan women are as forward, not as forward as your women, but we like.
Are they? Are they really? Nah. Are they really? Forward. When you think they're forward in with this saying they like money.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
That's the only part I can say they're forward. Hizi zingine, they beat around the bush.
And then from there, I started observing the culture there. And like, even when you're carrying heavy stuff, someone will come and help you.
Don't be a simp, bro. Nah, don't be a simp, bro. Usibebe kibeti. Usibebe kibeti. Zidanganye.
There are certain jobs, especially I've seen this in the North, where it's only men who do, women are not allowed. So the roles are very clear, and a woman is allowed to be a woman, and you're not shamed for that. You're not shamed in Nigeria to even be a housewife. A man is expected to take care of his family, spoil his woman. While here in Kenya, the culture is a bit different. It's like, yeah, men and
Free for
women,
all.
you're the same.
I work on radio. I had this conversation, and someone said when my dad would do something wrong, he'd come home with shopping. Meats.
Yeah, meats.
He'd come home with meats.
Yeah, how
He
you
would-
express.
Can you imagine? And I'm like, isn't that something basic? Are you not supposed to provide for your family? So our men are not expressive.
Si, mungekula ugali na skuma, but hiyo sikuwa kama mnakula ugali na skuma na nyama.
Men don't show affection.
Big difference.
And then the culture that is closest to yours, we have Luos here from Nyanza, the guys from the lakeside. Culture that is
It's Nyanza with an N. Nyanza.
closest to yours, we have Luos here.
Not lows. Luo. Luo. Get it right.
From Nyanza, the guys from the lakeside, they love
That'd be
fish.
best.
They're as loud as you are, as flamboyant as you are. So they are more expressive, and it's not weak for a man to show his feelings because our men believe it's weak. In fact, they call it simping. They say,
Let me tell you. It's not that it's weak. You are made weak by the women for doing that. And it's simping pia. Kusimpia. Because you are made to do things that you wouldn't do as a person. Cultures are very different. So trying to bring in foreign culture to people who have not been living in that culture is obviously going to be a divide. Common sense.
Can the disagreeer please step forward?
I can't wait to hear what he
in
has to
trouble.
say.
Very old ladies. Oh, beautiful ladies. Beautiful ladies.
Nigerian man would never describe us like that.
Old beautiful ladies. Listen, they are beautiful
He
ladies.
said what he said.
I said what I said. We are truthful. We are raw. I believe we are raw. We are more raw, especially when you're expressing love. We are more raw. But on an average,
Hey, don't say that.
the Nigerian men, I'd give you to that. You guys are flamboyant, are romantic. But I think with the new breed of men, from their experience, and I believe it's from our parents, coming from our parents, how they used to treat our mothers. I mean, I've never had my dad tell my mom, I love you. Maybe you guys have a different experience, but for me, in my own experience, I think we are fairly romantic.
I remember a situation where I was at the cafeteria. I was with a Nigerian guy and some Kenyan guy is like, I know this girl, we shared some class together and she's very sweet. And that Nigerian guy is like, please don't say that about my sister again. Yeah, because he knows that it offended me and he took it upon himself to.
How is that offensive? Am I slow? Am I slow? Am I slow?
I think we are fairly romantic.
I remember a situation where I was at the cafeteria. I was with a Nigerian guy and some Kenyan guy is like, I know this girl, we shared some class together and she's very sweet. And that Nigerian guy is like,
how the fuck is that offensive?
Women.
Oh my God, where are we headed?
Please don't say that about my sister again. Yeah, because he knows that it offended me and he took it upon himself to attack immediately. So that feeling of love is there.
Especially with us who are brought up in a society where men, in a way, are somehow elevated. You see, you don't feel like you need to come down to their level to agree with them or to make them feel they are loved. For us, women, they owe us. And it's not the other way around. I think that's where we are wrong as Kenyans.
You think you're the price?
Yes.
But we are. We are though. Aren't we? Ama? Mnasemaje?
Kenyans have a better speaking accent than Nigerians.
Facts.
I do like the accent. I've been to a couple places in Africa and I've heard
I've been to Nigeria and I like talking like them.
People speak. I'm not talking about how you choose your words. That's a different thing. The way you pronounce cap, cape, stage, bus stop.
Yeah.
You know, I once had an issue with that. The lady came to see me. For 2 hours, she was at the stage. She was like, I'm at the stage. And I was like, stage? Like, where's the show happening? Is there like, who is performing? Like, she was like, I'm here, I'm just here.
This nigga, bro. It's really exciting to Lagos, bro. Not the stage.
Complicated. Swahili has 10 words for one thing. My language has 1 word for 10 things. OWO, which is owo, can be hand, can be something collapsing. It can mean so many things, and it's the same OWO.
I like the conversation. It opened up my mind to some prejudices maybe I've had, because I've always thought Nigerians are super duper to the power of infinity loud. But I've understood that it has a lot to do with upbringing. You're all raised to be proud and to speak up. Maybe instead of having an issue with it, the other African countries can try and believe we're superhuman like you all do in Nigeria.
Corruption is more prevalent in Nigeria than in Kenya.
Thanks.
Since no one agreed with the prompt, can all the disagreeers now step forward?
Corruption is more prevalent in Kenya than Nigeria. So that's what they all mean. Kenya, there's more corruption than Nigeria. Okay, let's hear.
Let me first clear the air. We are corrupt too, to the point where even the Western world tagged us the 3rd most corrupt nation in the world. They say Nigerians are scammers. Nigerians are this, Nigerians are that. If you look at the stats, Nigerians are not even top 3 scammers in the world. Nigerians are not top 4. We don't sell drugs as much as Mexicans or Colombians. We don't scam as much as Jamaicans, even the Indians or the Chinese.
The Asians, the Chinese.
Yeah, like we previously said, we're loud.
I agree with that.
We
Because
proudly.
you're the loudest, even in a classroom. The loudest person is always. I'm very loud and I'm small, so I'm always. When people are rounding up the usual suspects, of course they are going to suspect me first.
Exactly.
So it's just because. Plus, you're very bold.
Yeah.
You're bold, and your potential is more visible than maybe any other country. I'm not saying you're in any way better than anyone, but I'm saying you stick out.
Stereotype really. I feel like you people need to just chill with us, have some time with Nigerians.
Amas.
You would realize that 80% of the country don't even know what scam is. The 20% who go out there,
20% of 200 million is a lot of people. It's probably more than 50% of Kenyans. You see where the math.
Nigerians make the best music in Africa.
In Africa, yes, probably.
Honestly, I love South African music. Yeah,
They don't know
but
about Wakadinali, bro. and
Nigerian
Sauti
music,
Sol.
honestly, like in gospel music,
It's sweet.
it gets to this place. It brings out that thing you are trying to hide.
I think for me, Nigerian is African. I mean, it's so authentic because you guys are very in touch with your language. I mean, I was saying earlier that I don't even know my own mother tongue, but you guys are very in touch with your.
This is a fraud. If you don't know even your own mother tongue, that's the reason why you're even going for other countries' music, bro. Get in tune with your roots. Bro, kade na diwe koyo. Ijui kada bloody fucking mono.
Culture, language, and when you explore that in terms of music, it brings something very authentic,
Mwagi
something
mwagi
not
ma.
borrowed. And the way you guys speak to the soul, as everybody is saying, I mean, I have my playlist on my phone is like 70% Nigerian.
Yeah.
Fraud. Let me see my Spotify. My Spotify. Where do you go? Yeah, 90% of this is just Western. You see, like songs, Footprint. This is, see, most of it is, there's Kilo Me, then there's all over the world, even Adele. But there's a lot of Drake, Maroon 5, The Weeknd, Harry Styles, YG, Nikita Kering. It's a lot of people. Then there's, if you scroll here, on my recents, likes of Wakadinali, see? So it's very diverse, bro. So my catalog.
I don't think even South African music represents Africa as Nigerian represents. Even the visuals, the costumes, what the scenes. They're very African. They speak African. I think that's what Nigerian music does.
We can see that music is feeding your artists because many of our artists here are struggling for the
Yes,
platform.
because
We are praying for them.
because you're not supporting them. The majority of you are just supporting watu wa huku nje. How are they supposed to feed themselves?
Kumbavu zangu. Umbwa mimi.
But we have the Sauti Souls as well, who are also making their mark in a big way on a continental level.
Can the disagreeer now please step forward?
First of all, when it comes to music or entertainment, what I love about it is there is no bias. If you're good, you're good. So saying Nigeria has the best music, I do not buy that. Because before Nigeria came here, we were here, we dropped. The Congo music came, took over the entire Africa.
True.
Awilo. I was dancing. A lot of us were dancing. We didn't understand.
We didn't understand
What they were saying. But we loved it. Every birthday party had that. If you don't have that as a DJ, please forget it. Don't play. What we are supposed to say is Nigerian music is the most hardworking industry in the whole of Africa. There is competition. There is enough drag. We have 250 million people who wants to listen to 250 million different things. Now, what will make you stand on top of the whole 250 million?
That's what I was saying.
There's a lot of work to be
So you
done.
conquer Nigeria, you conquer the world.
You understand?
If you are not well-traveled, would you say you would be receptive to different sounds from different areas of the continent? If I went to Nigeria, would I find Sauti Sol playing at in a mall, in a club? Are you receptive to, or do you just only like affection and validation one way?
Question.
Sauti Soul plays in it.
Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah, names such as
Diamond
Sauti
took over
Soul,
Nigeria.
Platinums, you know.
This guy, what's his name? Brakata Tumba.
Yeah.
That guy
But,
played in Nigeria.
yeah.
They had to chase him out.
Serious?
Yes. So now Nigerian artists work that hard to make sure that we
are as good. There is no bigger and better, but Kenya on top. With that being said,
sina nguvu tena, sina muda wa kufight na mwanadamu. Nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu. Sina nguvu tena, sina muda wa kufight na mwanadamu. Nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu, nafanya shit yangu.